Hello, this is the presentation for our web application for the course TDD27. We have developed a application for keeping eyes on the stock market and your budget. So this is the home page, where if you're not logged in, you get some of the most popular stocks like Apple, Amazon, Facebook, Google, Microsoft, Coca-Cola, for example. And we'll go more into the graphs later. But this is the an overview of the page. And then we have a budget page and a stock page. So we'll go into the budget page. You want to take this, Chris?
Yeah, so this page is for like keeping track of your budget, dividing your expenses into like needs, wants, and savings. So you can enter your income and different expenses. You press the plus button, you get another row. You can enter a new expense, and you can categorize these by pressing the button, and it will toggle between need, want, and savings. When you calculate, you get like a progress bar of how much of your need you've used. So out of your income, you would allocate 50% to your need, 30% to your want, and 20% to your saving. And if this progress bar is filled, or like it says more than 100%, then you're not in a good place. So you should reevaluate your budget. Yeah, and it says like how much you've used and what the limit is. That's the basic of this like budget calculator. And when you're signed in, you have some other functionality that we can go through afterwards.
Yeah, then we have the stock page.
And in here you can basically search for any stocks where we have an autocomplete of all the available stocks for us. So if you type in any of the stocks, either by name or abbreviation, you will get the stock name and that you can search for. So, and once you search for it, we gather the data from the backend, and we get our graph where we can either toggle the daily progress, weekly progress, or monthly progress. And if you want, you can look at when the data points are collected, so either in closing time or open time, or when they're high or low. So it's up to you what data points you want to look at. And we also provide a little bit more functionality once you are logged in this site.
Exactly. And when you sort by daily, the interval comes in an interval of 5 minutes. If you sort by weekly, you get intervals of 1 hour. And if you sort by monthly, you get intervals of 1 day. And this autocomplete searches through a list of approximately 9,000 different stocks from NASDAQ listed stock. So you can basically check whichever stock you want, which is pretty cool. And then we have a find-in functionality where you can register a user and you can log it in. So I'm going to log in with a pre-existing user. And I can mention also that this register has certain rules for what which passwords are allowed and how you need to enter a username and an email. And if we log in, we'll get to the front page again, but instead of the normal stocks, the most common stocks, you get the stocks you are currently following. So you see this here. And if you check the budget page, you can now load one of your saved incomes and expenses.
And when you change any of the expenses or add some or remove them, you can save those changes. And the next time you enter the page, it will load those changes.
Exactly.
And in the stock page now, when we're logged in, we have a list of all our followed stocks. So if we were to like look at one of them, we will get our graph loaded for us. And now if we want, we can unfollow it, or also we can also search. When we search for new ones, we can follow them as well here. And now we can follow this one, and it will be put in our list.
Yes. As can be
So
seen
this,
here.
yeah.
Exactly. Then we have a profile page where you can go and you can get a small graph of your followed stocks. You can check. And you can also edit your profile with some new text. And you can also upload a picture if you want. Like that. And for future implementation, we are thinking about making a forum for the community users to discuss. And this will show a small overview here, but otherwise there will be a completely different page for this. And I think that's pretty much it. You can sign out and we come back to the home page with the standard stocks. And then we can talk a little bit about our workflow in Git, where we have been working in by using topic branches or feature branches that we send merge requests to the development branch. So all development has been done in separate branches. And in order to get your merge request approved, one of the other members needs to check through the code and approve it. And in this way, we made sure that everyone had understanding of the code. So you can see here different graphs where we constantly merge into master or to development.
And we chose to divide the work in features, not front end, back end. So add some functionality, they had to go into like how to make it visible on the home page, and how to fetch data from our REST framework and create different views in the REST framework and fetch them from the front end. So everyone sat and like developed on the whole chain. So started from back end to front end. We also had a board for like open
issues and
issues, features we wanted to implement. Some we implemented, some we didn't. One idea was to like have bank ID as a way of logging in. Not really necessary, but we thought might be a cool idea.
exactly. And yeah, and we didn't mention that we've used Django for backend
Yeah.
and Vue for front end.
Mm. And most of our communication has been through Discord. We tried to have like daily meetings. It's been hard during COVID to work on the project. We've had our challenges, but it's worked out. We try to like every time someone has an issue, we jump into Discord and discuss it.
Yes, and in some cases where the workload was too much, for instance, in one feature and one needed help, we would kind of remote pair program where one would open up project and the other and screencast and the other would sit there and discuss. So we also did that kind of work when it was needed.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that about sums it up.